Chains beneath the bloodline. Emeka Nwoke's life was a relentless riddle, effort without reward, brilliance without breakthrough. Born in the sleepy village of Isialangwa in Rivers State, he was the pride of his parents. A retired teacher with failing eyesight and a market woman whose feet bore the cracks of hard years selling yams under sun and rain. His parents had one hope, Emeka, their first son, their glory, the one they believed would finally break the cycle of rural poverty and forgotten legacy. And when he graduated from the University of Lagos with a second-class upper degree in geology, their joy overflowed. His father danced with energy, his knees hadn't known in years. His mother wept and whispered, "Lord, thank you, we will now rest." But that rest never came. Emeka returned from NYSC expectant, his file neatly arranged, CV printed in color, and confidence brimming from his posture. But the Lagos that once looked like an opportunity turned into a dry desert. No job, no callbacks, no second chances. Days became months. Months bled into 3 years. He squatted in Surulere, crashing on the floor of his former classmate Bayo, who had secured a bank job within 6 months of NYSC. Bayo was kind, but not without limits. At first they laughed together, prayed together, and even dreamed of starting a side hustle. But as time passed, Emeka's requests became Bayo's burden. "Bro, you fit help me with 500 naira for tea fare," chipped at their friendship. Silence replaced conversation, kindness gave way to discomfort. Emeka knew. Even before Bayo said it, he knew. One rainy evening, Bayo returned home, removed his wet shoes at the door, sighed deeply and said, "Emeka, I'm getting married. You have 3 months to sort out where you'll go. No hard feelings." Emeka smiled and congratulated him, but that night he sobbed like a boy in the dark. Every plan, working abroad, supporting his parents, helping his brother Okechukwu, felt like dust in his mouth. A week later, with shoes barely holding together and hunger gnawing at his belly, Emeka didn't walk the streets to job hunt. He walked to beg. At Victoria Island, he paced around fast food restaurants, watching well-dressed men and women walk past him without a glance. He leaned against the walls, shuffled through bins, and avoided eye contact. When a teenage girl dropped a crumpled 200 naira note in his palm, something inside him broke. He walked aimlessly until he stood on the pedestrian bridge near the Civic Center, overlooking the water. The wind hit his face, and for a moment, the idea of jumping and committing suicide felt like a release. But in that instant, the faces of his family flashed before him. His father, squinting under the sun with a hoe in his hand. His mother, barefoot and hunched over a yam stall. Okechukwu, standing tall with a book in hand, waiting for someone to believe in him. He took a deep breath, and he stepped back. Nearby stood a small church with a faded blue sign. The Redeemed Christian Church of God, House of Mercy Parish. Drawn by something he couldn't explain, he entered and asked to see the pastor. A gentle man in a plain white shirt listened quietly as Emeka poured out his soul. After a long silence, the pastor leaned forward. "You can stay in our boys' quarters, free, no rent, but you must join our weekly programs." That night, Emeka moved into the compound with nothing but a nylon bag of clothes. He swept the courtyard each morning. He arranged chairs. He prayed quietly at the back. No one knew his name, but heaven was watching. 2 months later, a 3-day revival was announced. On the second night, a fiery evangelist mounted the pulpit. With sweat on his brow and fire in his eyes, he preached on spiritual foundations. "Some of you are fighting shadows but ignoring the roots. Your ancestors made agreements, and you're paying the debt. It's not laziness, it's bondage, and it ends tonight." Emeka's heart beat fast. It felt like the sermon was tailored for him. When the altar call came, he ran forward. The evangelist laid hands on him, paused, then said, "Young man, your name is Emeka. You are under a generational curse, poverty, stagnation, and childlessness. Your grandfather made a blood covenant with Amadioha, the god of thunder. He traded your generation's fruitfulness for temporary power. But God is ready to break this siege. You must fast for 7 days and seek him." Despite already knowing hunger, Emeka obeyed. He fasted. On the 7th night, he had a dream. He stood in a cold, pitch-black prison. Rusted chains bound his hands. Spider webs clung to his skin. He tried to cry out, but no sound came. Then came light, a glowing man with a flaming sword. The chains broke with a single strike. The webs fell away. The man looked into his eyes and said, "It is done," then disappeared. Emeka woke up soaked in fear, his heart pounding with freedom. 2 weeks later, his phone rang, then again and again. 5 final interview invitations came in 1 week. By Friday, Emeka sat before 3 offer letters. He chose the best, an international energy firm. For the first time in 5 years, he had his own apartment, and the first thing he did was to send money to his parents. Then he paid Okechukwu's tuition. Then he built them a proper house. 2 years later, he married a woman he met in the church, a sister in faith who had prayed for her own deliverance. And together, they became pillars in that same church, pouring back into others who came broken. Final reflection. Emeka's story proves that what you inherit doesn't have to define what you become. He was marked by blood, but redeemed by grace. Our fathers have sinned, and we have borne their iniquities. Lamentations 5:7. If the Son shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. John 8:36. I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. Joel 2:25. So no matter what chains run through your bloodline, the blood of Jesus Christ breaks every chain. If this story inspired you, please don't keep it to yourself. Kindly subscribe, like, press the notification button, and share it with someone who needs a reminder of what truly matters.